Okay, so I'm continuing my series on Python for physics educators. I'm not going over the physics, I'm just focusing on the Python that you can do in the introductory class. I'm almost the end of my introductory semester, 1 and 2 semester for calculus-based physics. I'm finishing up with the magnetic force and torque on a loop of wire, and then I'll do an LRC circuit, and then that'll be it for that series. I'm still going to make videos for the rest of my life because I can't stop. And I hope you enjoy these because I enjoy making them too. And thank you for coming along. Okay. So we know that if I have a length of wire, I can calculate the magnetic force on that as I delta L cross B, where delta L is a vector in the direction and the length of the wire, and B is the magnetic field, I is the current. Now, what if I have a loop of wire in a magnetic field? So let's just say, here's my loop. And then my magnetic field is going to be, I'm just going to draw it over here into the board everywhere, into the paper. And then let's say I is this way. Okay, so I did this before. I calculated the magnetic field due to a loop of wire. And I did that by breaking this into short delta L pieces as these arrow vectors. Now, that's actually, there's a trick into doing this, right? If I put this at the origin, I can use theta to find the location of each piece, and then I actually use the cross product to find the direction and magnitude. Well, the magnitude, I just break it into pieces, and I say the total magnitude of each piece has to be 2 pi r. So if I say break this into n pieces, then delta L would be L hat times 2 pi r, where r is the radius of the ring, divided by n, the number of pieces. I did all this. I'm going to reuse that code, okay, because I don't want to reset that up. What I want to do is to calculate the force on each piece. So if I know the magnetic field, and I know the I delta L for each piece, I can just say, I can just do this. I can just do this for each piece, and then I can add up all the forces and see what the total force is. It should be 0. Okay, the next thing I can do is to calculate the torque. So if I want to calculate torque is R cross F. I'm trying to think, can I do torque about a point, or do I have to do torque about an axis? I think I can just try. Let's just try this. Let's call that the vector R, which I've already have, and just do, I know the force F, and let's just calculate the torque about a point. Although I think it should be about this axis. If that doesn't work, I'll pick this axis of rotation as in the y direction, and I'll draw that in there, and then we'll make that our axis of rotation and calculate the torque. I kind of think I have to do an axis. If that's the case, then I'm going to have to calculate this vector R like this, right? It's just in the xy plane, xz plane. Yeah, because I can rotate it. But this is, my ring's going to be in the, actually my ring is in the, I'm going to put the ring in the xy plane. And then the magnetic field will be in the z direction. Okay, so I'm going to start with a loop of wire that I've already made. I'm going to put a constant magnetic field, and then I'm going to calculate the force, and then I'm going to calculate the torque. Okay, so let's jump over to Python and see. Oh, and then I do want to check this, right? The torque on a loop should be IA cross B. So we can test that out. We can try different values of B. I'm not going to rotate my loop yet. I will do this in the future. I'm not going to rotate my loop yet, but I can change the direction of B and see if this does indeed work. Where I is the current, A is the area vector, which is the magnitude of the area, and the unit vector normal to the surface. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, so this is my calculation of the magnetic field due to a loop of wire. I think it's beautiful. It's in my playlist. But there you can see the loop broken into a certain number of points, of pieces. And I'm going to use that same thing. So let's just copy this whole program. I guess do this, copy. So now we have a copy, and let's change the name to force and torque on loop of current. And let's run it. Doesn't really matter. And let's save it. So now we have it saved. And let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see. Okay. So what does this do right here? While theta is less than 2 pi. This makes the ring, and that's really what I want. And it puts all those pieces into a list called ring. So the list ring has a whole bunch of DL vectors in there that are actually arrows. And so that's going to, I can access that when I want to calculate the magnetic field, but I can also access that if I want to calculate the force. So let me just change this one thing. So here I have this in the YZ plane. I'm going to change that to the XY plane. So I'm going to get rid of that 0 and put it over here. And then this needs to change too, because now I want to cross with the Z axis, not the X axis, I think. Yeah. I think that's right. Let's run that and see what disaster we made. Okay, that's good. It's actually kind of interesting. Actually, that's actually really interesting, because then you can see that's what I would expect. There's this, I still have the magnetic field calculation, and that is what it would look like for a dipole. So I'm pretty pumped up about that. Okay, but I'm not calculating the magnetic field due to the loop. I'm calculating the force on the loop. So what does all this stuff do right here? This picks my observation location. I don't think I need any of this. And then this does it again. So let's just delete all that. And then we plot it. I don't want to plot it. Let's delete all that. And let's just run this. Now I just have a loop. Okay, so now I need to pick my magnetic field. I already have my current at 0.2 amps, so I have the radius of the thing. Let's just pick B equals vector. I want it in the, let's try first in the Z direction. That would be this way. So it's going to be 0, 0. I'm going to pick 0.001. I don't know why I picked that. I just picked a value. So now I want to go through each piece in the ring and calculate the force and then add it to the total force. So let's start off with F equals vector 0, 0, 0. If I want to calculate the force through each piece, and add it to something, I have to start with something. So there's my starting with something. Okay, now I can go through, and remember, ring is a finite number of pieces. I can go through each piece in the ring. So I'm going to say for RP in ring. And let me just show you how this works. Print RP dot POS. That's the position of each arrow. The RP is I guess just call this IDL. Let's call it IDL. And for I times DL, IDL, even though it's not I times DL, it's just DL, which is fine. But I'm going to print out the position of all those just so you can see how it works. So when I do something like this, is a very powerful statement for me. It just goes through each element in the ring and calls that element IDL. And I can do whatever I want with it. Okay. So what I want to do is to calculate the force. So I'm going to say dF equals the cross product of I times IDL dot axis. Right? IDL dot axis, each of those arrows has a length DL. And a vector length DL. So DL, or IDL, I called it IDL, is the length, the vector length. So I times that is I dot DL, the axis. Now I need to cross that with B, and that's it. IDL cross B. That's the force. Now I'm going to add that force to the total. F equals F plus DF. And now that's it. Print F equals F newtons. And let's see if this works. And I don't know if it's going to work. It's going to be a surprise for you and a surprise for me. Okay, so it's not 0. What does that mean? That means it is 0. Look at the force. It's 4 times 10 to the negative 22, 1 times 10 to the negative 21, 0. That's 0. Okay, if you want, we could break this into more pieces. I could say 32. Let's see what that does to the force. Okay, so it's still the same size. But I think it's working. That works. The total force is 0. Let's go back over to 16 pieces. I like the way it looks. Let's change the vector B. Let's put it in the X direction. So I'm going to put this as 0.00100. Now it's in the x direction. The force is still 0. Okay, that's still a 0 force, as small as you could get. I could put it in the y direction. The force on the loop is 0 for a constant magnetic field. If it's not a constant magnetic field, that's not true. And I will make a video on that later, I promise, because I want to show that. Okay, so now let's calculate the torque. So I'm going to say, I'll just call it T equals vector 0, 0, 0. So the total torque is going to be the sum of the torques in each individual piece. And I'm not even sure that this worked. Like I said, I already calculated the force on each piece. And now I can just say R cross dF to find the torque. So let's do this. T, it's really tau, is going to be the cross product of R. And so in this case, R is IDL dot POS. That's the vector from the origin to that location. Cross dF, which I've already calculated. And then, that's d tau. So then the total torque is going to be, let's add that up. And let's print that. I'll write it as tau now. T, and this will be in Newton meters. And it's not, I'm sorry, it's not really 0, right? We do have a significant torque compared to the x direction in the y direction. So here I have, let's just think, I have the magnetic field in the x direction, and then I would be this way, IDL, IDA, IA would be this way. So the cross product of IA, so the normal force is this way, I is that way, and which would be that way in your case. I can't switch my fingers backwards. So if I have, that's going to be I, I'm putting it in the correct direction. That's B, and then IDL is that way. IDA, IA cross B would be that way in the positive y direction. And that's what we got. Okay. Now, if I have the magnetic field in the direction of the n hat, I should get a 0 torque, right? So let's change that back to the z direction. And let's see if we get a 0 torque. And that's 0. I'm going to call it 0. Okay, so that does indeed work. Now, what I really want to see is it equal to IA cross B? Okay, so let's just go down here and say this. N hat is equal to, it'd be in the z direction. Vector 0, 0, 1. Now I can say A vector, A is going to be pi times r squared times n hat. Now I can use that to calculate the torque, theoretical torque. T is going to be I times A. Did I use A up here? No, I didn't. No, it's going to be cross I times A B. Print tau theory equals TT Newton times meters. Okay, so the theoretical torque would be 0. I got something very close to 0. Let's switch back to the x direction. So now there should be a torque. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. 6.2 times 10 to the negative 8, 6.2 times 10 to the negative 8. That's a win right there. Okay, let's just do one other odd angle just to see that it works. So in the x, y, I want to rotate it a little bit like that, which I'm actually rotating the magnetic field. So let's give the magnetic field 0.05. No, 0.005. And let's just see if the two agree. Okay, so, yeah, that's right. Still agrees. It didn't really change. I need that in the x direction, I guess. 0.005 in the x direction. Okay. I mean, those are the same. So that's a huge win for me. So the torque on a loop of wire is indeed IA cross B. The force on a wire in a constant magnetic field is 0. But you can see where this is going, right? Because if I can do this for a constant magnetic field, I could do this for a non-constant magnetic field. And that's what I want to do. I want to actually have 2 rings with electric current, and that's going to make a non-constant magnetic field, and that's going to experience a non-constant force, and we can see the attractive force between them, and that'll be cool. But I'm going to do that in a video, not part of the series, because I think that's not really something that would be the best for students in introductory physics. Okay, so there you go. Playlist down below, code down below. I got one more video in the series on the RLC circuits, but other than that, put comments down below if there's things you want to see or questions you have. Hope you enjoy this. I'll be back with the next video for you.